Hey everyone, I'm Basanta from Smart Tech Guide. In this video, I'm going to talk about the new study that finds the COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2 or the coronavirus 2019 is very dangerous, and it can live up to 3 days on various surfaces. So to get away from that, or to save you from the virus, what do you need to do? Especially you have to use phone every day, and laptop, earphone, and everything that may have virus, and it may stay up to 3 days. So you need to disinfect all those things. Let's talk about that today. All the precaution, what can we do, and all those things. Let's talk about. New coronavirus is stable for hours and days on the sun, and the days on surface. The new study from the National Institute of Health, CDC, Central for Disease Control, University of California, LA, Los Angeles, and Princeton University published in medical journal, the New England Journal of Medicine, with the study from the coronavirus. This severe acute respiratory syndrome, also called SARS coronavirus 2 or the SARS-CoV-2. It's also called as a coronavirus or CoViD, coronavirus disease 2019, whatever it's called, it's same thing. Can live on glass or plastic or the steel surface up to 3 days. That's 72 hours plus on the those surface, and on aerosol for 3 hours, and many more. You can find the study link, study in the description link, so feel free to read that. And the scanning, the picture shows from the same study that scanning of electron microscope image for SARS-CoV-2, that's shown in yellow, and the blue and the pink one is the surface that's isolated from the patient in US. After the 72 hours of culture. So after 72 hours of culture, the virus came up to the surface. That means it can live more than 72 hours. That's more than 3 days. So with that said, we need to be really careful on our day-to-day device like phones, earphone, laptop, and many more devices that we touch every often. We need to be very careful. Highlight of the study was basically why coronavirus 1, SARS-CoV-1, that is also called SARS, just the SARS, that was a kind of pandemic around 2002-3 that infected almost 8,000 plus peoples. That was also originated from China. It was long back in 2002. And why it's different than the predecessor, and why it's affecting more people, that was the main center of the study. It was by the behavior, it was similar to CoV-1 or the SARS, but other aspect like it can spread and give symptoms. It can spread well before giving the symptoms to the patient. That means you won't notice, but you will be spreading. That's the necessary of the kind of self-isolation or the quarantine, or whatever we say, social distancing. And that's what is the part it calls for the social distancing and isolation, those things. And unlike the regular SARS-CoV-1, the COVID-19 has the stability and the ability to remain on the aerosol for up to 3 hours. Like I showed in the chart, it can stay up to 3 hours on the aerosols, and it can stay on the copper surface for up to 4 hours, and on the cardboard surface up to 24 hours. That's a day plus. And on the plastic, glass, or steel surface, glass surface, this is a mobile, it's a glass surface. You may have plastic cover, that means it's plastic, or you may have desk on the kitchen slab. Everywhere, every surface we touch that may hold coronavirus for up to 72 hours. So that's really scary, and we need to all those things very often. So let's look at the precautions. I grabbed these couple of things from some from the WHO and some from the National Institute of Health. First of all, avoid close contact with persons who are sick, and avoid touching your eyes, face, and mouth. No, do not touch your face, eyes, or mouth. Even if you need to touch, just go and wash your hand very properly, at least for 20 seconds, and then you can touch. But do not touch your stop the habit of touching face, your nose, whatever. And stay home if you are sick, and if you get work from home, try to do work from home. Even if you have to go to work and you are sick, do not go to work. Just stay on the sick leave. Cover your cough with the elbow, or sneeze with a kind of tissue or anything that you have that blocks the exposure of the virus on the air, and throw those tissue or whatever you are using to the trash can. And clean and disinfect the surface that you touch very often, like your office desk or laptop screen, laptop keyboard. Sometimes you may touch TV screen while changing the positions, and kitchen slab, freezer, doorknobs, and so many things. Disinfect all those things very often. And WHO and National Health Institute and CDC, all of those has the very well documented regulations and precautions. I'll write those links in the description section. Please feel free to look at that. And this picture I grabbed from Google. One second, guys. This shows like 5 things, major 5 things that we need to do. Clean our hands with soap, and cough on elbow if we don't have tissue paper available. If we have tissue paper available, do not cough on elbow or hands. But if you have tissue paper available, use the tissue. If you don't have tissue paper, in that case, just use the elbow. Do not use hand. And do not touch your face, eyes, ear, nose, anything with the bare hands without washing. And stay away from the peoples as much as you can. At least maintain 3 feet to 6 feet of the social distancing. And if you feel sick or dizziness, whatever it is, it may be corona or it may be anything, just stay home. Do not go to office or work. That's the main thing you can do to avoid spread of the coronavirus. And I mentioned already, maintain the social distancing, and if you are sick and you need to go out of home or apartment, then please wear mask. But do not you don't need to wear mask if you are not sick. Please be mindful and do not buy the mask so that medical professional won't get. Do not make it shortage on the market. They are the one that needs mask. We don't need it if we don't have any sickness or any virus contraction. Disinfect all those surfaces I mentioned earlier. Toilets, faucets, sinks, countertops, handles, desk, light switch, and doorknobs, tables, laptop, computer, and TV, everything. I'll come to the points how do you clean your electronics in a minute, but how can you disinfect? There may be different ways. You may have some kind of disinfection spray already available. If you don't have it, then utilize the rubbing alcohol solution with at least 70% of the alcohol content, and or you can also utilize the household bleach, and for that use 5 tablespoons of the bleach per gallon of water, and or the 4 tablespoons of the bleach per quarter of the water to make a solution, and then use that to disinfect all those surface and everything you touch and work with. So and wash your cloth if it's exposed, or even if it's not exposed, if you wear it for a one time, then wash it. That's the best thing we can do. Next is how do you disinfect your phones or any other electronics? Because washing phone or any electronics is not a good idea. You may end up losing your phone because of water, and it goes inside and short circuit. So how do you clean it? There may be different ways you can clean, like nowadays there is if you are high tech and you have you want to expand some, you can get UV virus zapping devices. That is basically like a tanning bed for your mobile device or any other electronic device. And what does it do is it spreads and bombards the UV rays onto your phone, so that all the germs and virus will get killed with the UV rays, ultraviolet rays. And ultraviolet, this technology actually came from the sun ultraviolet, so that you can also use the sunlight if you have available. When there is a sun outside, you can keep your phone for the extended time of length, and the germs get killed. But note that it needs specific at least some amount of time, so that it's enough to get killed, get the germs killed. So sunlight, it's free solution, but it may not be good idea if you need it if you need your phone or anything very often, and or if you can't take it outside, that kind of things. You get the UV virus zapping devices nowadays in the market. You can utilize that, and the other solution you can do is hot water with the soap. Please do not use the bleach or some strong soap, but just use the regular either hand wash or the regular dishwash soap, um, uh, and use hot water, mild hot water, not too much hot, and with that get some cloth, microfiber or any other clean cloth, and make it wet, and then wipe your phone or any electronic device with the cloth, and make sure you don't put the water inside the earphone or charging ports. And even if your phone is IP rated, IP68, IP67 rated, it's not recommended to take the water inside. And sometimes you may have dropped your phone and it may have some kind of crack even if you don't notice. And sometimes even if it's rated, there may be a kind of some phones may still leak amount. Even if it doesn't leak, it's not recommended to pour the water directly into it. So just make the cloth very wet, and then wipe the phone and cover surfaces. Every surface you think of, wipe it with the soapy water. Another solution you can do is like antibacterial gels. You may have antibacterial gels, and also you can use the hand sanitizer things or those kind of things, but again you need some kind of clean cloth to clean every surface. So that's how you can clean the electronics. That's my time for today. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe and share my channel and videos, like my Facebook page, and don't forget to click on the bell icon next to subscribe button to get notified of my future videos. If you haven't watched my previous videos, go ahead and watch. Feel free to comment if you like to know something or have feedback for me. Until next video, have a good time. Bye bye.